As a veteran, you want to talk to other veterans. You don't want to sit down and talk to folks that never experienced what you experienced and then have them tell you how to feel about it. That's why it's important for veterans to take care of veterans. We are the ones who care about each other the most. We are the ones who can relate to each other the most.
In his final episode this week, Jonathan shares remorse for his actions directly related to PTSD and how he was able to overcome and adapt to living a normal life.
It got to a point where all the consequences of my actions were coming together. I lost my car. I eventually lost my residency. I had nowhere to go. And I knew that at that point my life was pretty much at the bottom. That if I didn't do something, that if I didn't change something, that I was done. I was gonna lose my children, and that meant the most to me. And so I decided that I needed to get clean. I needed to do this. I needed to be, that man and step forward and face these feelings, face these demons. I remember the first day that I got clean, or was trying to get clean, the first day, and I was hurting, and my sons had this ceremony for their Cub Scout event. My oldest son and my youngest son were receiving awards for the efforts that they had made throughout the year. And to be honest, I wasn't even going to go. I just felt so horrible, but I knew that my son wanted me to be there. I knew that I should be there for my son. In fact, I shouldn't say that I knew my son wanted me to be there, because truth be told, when I did finally get there and I looked around and I saw all the parents with their kids, and there was my kids in the back by themselves. And my oldest son turns around to me. He sees me, big smile gets on his face, and he says, "Daddy, I did not think you were coming." That made me feel like a complete failure. That my own son stopped believing in me. The last thing you want as a father is for your son to look at you and stop believing in you. To think that you're not going to be there. That day changed my life forever. In that moment, I promised myself that I would not be that man anymore. That I was going to start being the man that I knew I could be, the man that I am. And I stopped worrying about living life for everybody else, for living life for myself. And I made them the priority of my life. I made them the most important thing in my life. That my goal from then on was to be a good father, despite what I was going through, despite the feelings that I was carrying or the addiction that I was trying to get away from. My children needed me, and that's when I started truly being there for them. And even now, it's hard because I think of the time that I wasted, the years that I wasted not being there for them, the faith that I lost in my own kids, because I let this destroy me, because I gave up. No kid deserves to have his own father give up. No kid deserves to feel like he can't depend on his own father, the one person that's supposed to protect him, the one person that's supposed to always be there for him. I felt lonely. I felt I had nobody to talk to. I felt like, I had this program, that you could go to and get help, but to me, it felt like a one-size-fits-all program. As a veteran, you want to talk to other veterans. You don't want to sit down and talk to folks that never experienced what you experienced and then have them tell you how to feel about it. It's that veteran-to-veteran connection that matters the most. That's why it's important for veterans to take care of veterans. We are the ones who care about each other the most. We are the ones who can relate to each other the most. That's the whole purpose of me sharing this story, is to connect to those veterans out there that are going through that drug addiction, that are feeling like that failure, and to help them realize that you're not alone. I'm right there. I did it. I walk right beside you. Many, many other brothers and sisters walk right with you in that path, and you don't realize that in the moment. You don't. You feel so alone, so terribly alone. And you just numb yourself out. You don't want to face the feelings. You don't want to face the horror. You don't want to face the anxiety. You don't want to face the loneliness. So you find a vice to get rid of those things. But only to find out that really you're just giving up on your life. You're getting rid of everything. Everything gets rid of whenever you get rid of those feelings. My life, my direction, my path, my happiness, my pride, and more importantly, potentially my own children.